What's up everybody, Unrested here, and I'm in the middle of the rain, in the middle of rainy season, which is kind of appropriate since today I pretty much wanted to do my JFAQ on seasons and the change in seasons here in Japan. Now, my battery might run out because it's really low, so I might have to continue this video at home, but I thought I'd go ahead and at least start it while I'm right in the middle of rainy season right now walking home. Get used to this if you're gonna move to Japan, because I'm pretty sure, now correct me if I'm wrong here, but every prefecture has a rainy season. I know at least it goes all the way down to Kyushu, because Mexican Samurai 100 also told me that he's dealing with that right now as well. So at least it goes down to Kyushu, so that's pretty far south. Yeah, you got your rainy season really at the beginning of summer. Not so fun to deal with because you're carrying an umbrella everywhere. And also, it just happens to rain not just a little bit and not just every day, but all day, every day. And that's kind of what I'm dealing with now. Although you're probably wondering, Scott, why not carry an umbrella there with you? Well, being from Florida, this is not really strong rain to me. In Florida, if you decided to walk in the rain, you would look like you just jumped into a pool because you would be soaked clean through. Here in Japan, it's kind of a light drizzle, and it just stays a light drizzle pretty much the whole time. It doesn't really change. Once in a while you get a strong storm and you get a typhoon, but really, my opinion, typhoons are nowhere near as strong as the hurricanes I used to deal with in Florida, so for me, not a big deal. Also, pretty much what we're dealing with seasonal change is you've got your 4 seasons here in Osaka, and they change just like they would in a more northern climate. Probably if you're going to compare it to America, you'd say it's compared to North America. And I would say in North America, I'd say North Carolina probably has about the same temperature changes and stuff. So that's pretty much what you're comparing it to. I'd say as cold as it gets is as cold as it gets there. Snow is relatively rare. Summer is as brutally hot as it is in Florida, and humidity is brutal. And if you're gonna be a tattooed hero like me and deal with having to wear long sleeves every day because you're definitely not going to go to school or work with your tattoos out, get ready for some uncomfortable months coming up during summertime. Definitely during August and July, those are some brutal months. And hold on, I got to get around this guy here because he's way over into where people should be walking. And you're going to deal with a lot of stuff there as far as having to keep yourself covered up even when it's super hot, and no one's going to have any sympathy for you. I know no one does for me, and that's because it was my choice to get a big tattoo, so I shouldn't really be a crybaby about it. As for winter, I love it because you pretty much have to wear long sleeves all the time, and the only downside to winter here is there is no central heating. And heaters in Japan either cook you to the point that your skin dries out, or they leave you ferociously cold. So I can't really say I'm too happy with how the heating works here. It's usually space heaters that are used, and they just, as they say, space heater, it heats a small space. It doesn't really keep an entire room hot. It'll keep one section of the room way too hot, like as if you had lit a fire in a hearth and you're warming yourself up next to it, but then it gets to a point where it's uncomfortable and you have to back off, and then you get too cold again. So that's a bit rough. Get used to that. There's no central heating. It's something you just have to build a tolerance to when you live here. There's the kotatsu, which is a table that has a heater underneath, and it has blankets that come over to the side, and they will keep your legs really warm, but the rest of your upper body will be left really cold because they only heat your legs. So I'd say winter, the deepest part of winter, is a little bit uncomfortable. Summer is way more uncomfortable for me. I really don't mind the cold that much. Spring is great here. The weather is beautiful. Cherry blossoms come out. You You've got the sakura, you know, the sakura trees, those are the cherry blossoms. Beautiful. You have a lot of flower festivals to go to. People gather in parks. They drink sake and play songs on acoustic guitars. Extremely fun time. I highly suggest if you come to visit just for a short time, choose that season. Fall's not really too different. I will say fall dips into winter quite quickly here in Osaka. We go from really hot temperatures in summer to just suddenly freezing. There's not really much of a segue. Spring is different in the fact that it slowly warms up, thank goodness. But just be ready when fall comes to expect it's almost already like winter. Well, that's pretty much it for seasons today. You'll probably have more questions as I only slightly touched on it. As always, feel free to feel free to write or ask me about anything you saw today or heard about today. I'm Unrested, this is JFAQ.